Yo, what up everybody, it's me, Fitness65. I'm just redoing my Wrestlemania 26 predictions video. So let's get started with the first matchup. The first matchup was for the Tag Team Unification Tag Team title matchup. It was between ShowMiz versus R-Truth and John Morrison. Really all I can say was this was okay little matchup. Should have went on a little bit longer, but I guess it was just there to give I guess they just gave this match the time that it needed to give other matches more time, which they didn't, but I'll get to that later. But yeah, this was an okay matchup. I gave this 2 stars. It served its purpose, I guess, to get the crowd pumped up, and it was, I guess, to make some of the matches get more time, even though they did it, and I'll explain later in the video. We then go to the second matchup, which was the triple threat matchup between Randy Orton against Cody Rhodes against Ted DiBiase Jr. This was an okay matchup. It was boring, a little bit boring and slow in the beginning, and I thought the Cody Rhodes, Ted DiBiase Jr. beating Randy Orton down sort of dragged on a little bit, but it sort of picked up right after that when Orton started to get some offense in, and the crowd was just really hot for Orton. So, and then Cody Rhodes and DiBiase Jr. did the double turn where they both turned on each other, and that'll be pulled through the matchup. And then Orton got the win when he punted Cody Rhodes and he did the RKO on Ted DiBiase Jr. to get the win. But overall, I give this matchup 2 stars, maybe 2.5 stars. This was an okay matchup. Could have been better if the build up would have been good, and it didn't start slow like it did and boring in the beginning. Could have been better, but it was good for what it was. We then go to the third matchup, which was the Money in the Bank matchup. This was a pretty good matchup. You saw some guys hit some nice spots. You saw Dolph Ziggler try to do the zigzag on Christian where he kind of botched it a little bit. You saw Kofi Kingston try to do a move in the corner with the ladder, but he kind of botched that, so that didn't come out well. You had Matt Hardy do the twist of fate on the Christian off the ladder. You had the beginning part where they attacked Drew McIntyre from the beginning because they didn't like how he got in, but it was a pretty good matchup. And also you had Bourne do some sick moves in this matchup, and it just shows how good of a worker Bourne is, and why I feel Bourne is very underutilized right now. But to me, he was the true MVP in this matchup. He outshined in this matchup. Everybody else did their moves, but he really outshined in this matchup, and he was the true real star in this matchup. The end came when Jack Swagger took a while to get the briefcase, but he finally got it, and thus Jack Swagger is going to be getting a big push, and it looks like Vince is high on Jack Swagger, and I'm pretty high on this guy too, as I felt this guy should have got a pretty big, decent push, but we'll have to see what they do with Jack Swagger and what kind of push they give him. But yeah, I enjoyed this matchup. I give it 3 3/4 stars. Very good matchup. We then go to Triple H versus Sheamus. Started off slow and boring, but it kind of picked up. I thought Triple H made Sheamus look good in this matchup. The storytelling was pretty good, with Sheamus having every counter to what Triple H, having a counter to what Triple H, to a move that Triple H tried to put on him. Triple H countering every move that Sheamus tried to put on him. This was just a very fun matchup, and I really enjoyed it. And I give this match easily 3 stars, as this was a very fun matchup, very good matchup. And Triple H ended up getting the win when Sheamus tried to go for his finishing move, but Triple H reversed it into the pedigree. But yeah, I give this match 3 stars. Very good matchup. We then go to Rey Mysterio versus CM Punk. I thought this was a little bit disappointing given the time that these two got, but it was still a good matchup. Very good, fast-paced matchup. You saw some nice spots in this matchup, some nice counters, and I just enjoyed this matchup. Just wish it could have been on a little bit longer. And Rey Mysterio ended up getting the win after reversing the GTS on CM Punk to turn it into the 619 and then get the splash, and that'll be the end of the matchup. Overall, I give this match 3 3/4 stars. Would have gave it more, but this matchup they just didn't give this matchup enough time, and if they hadn't gave this enough time, it would have easily been a 4-star matchup. But yeah, I enjoyed it. 3 3/4 stars. We then move on to the Next matchup, which was between Bret Hart versus Vince McMahon. This was pretty much a squash, pretty much a segment of Bret just beating the hell out of Vince. I thought it dragged out. A little bit towards the end, but this matchup served its purpose, and that was for Bret to get his revenge for the torture that Vince put on him, and for screwing them in the past couple weeks on Raw. And I enjoyed it, but I have to give this an NA, as this wasn't really a match, just more of a segment. So yeah, NA. We then go to Edge versus Chris Jericho for the World Heavyweight title. This was a very good matchup. Wish this matchup would have gotten a little bit more time, but for the time this matchup got, this was a very good matchup. You saw some counters, some nice storytelling with Jericho working the Achilles heel tendon of Edge because of Edge's injury. You saw Jericho countering the spear, Edge countering the walls of Jericho, and it was just a fun matchup. I really enjoyed it. Very good matchup. The end came when Jericho hit Edge with the belt and Edge kicked out, and then Jericho hit a move on Edge, but Edge kicked out, and then he hit the code breaker on Edge, and then Edge couldn't recover, and that'll be the end of the matchup. Overall, I give this 4 stars. People might think I might be overrating it, but I don't care. I really enjoyed this. I thought it was a good 4-star matchup. You can argue a 3-4 and 3-4 star matchup, maybe a 4-star matchup. I just thought this was a good matchup, and I enjoyed it. Then there was a tag team Divas matchup. Really didn't care about this matchup. I thought this matchup had no business being on the card. Hadn't this match been taken out, some of the matches would have gotten more time. Just not a very good matchup. And they even botched the ending with the pin where Vicki Guerrero did the pin on Kelly, but they botched it, and they had to. So Vicki Guerrero had to splash Kelly a little bit more, and then she pinned her, and that'd be the end of the matchup. Not a very good matchup. I give this a dud. Just a terrible matchup. We then go to Batista versus John Cena. This was a good matchup. Saw a lot of counters. You saw a nice counter when John Cena tried to do a move off the top rope, and Batista tried to did the Batista bomb, but it looked like a spine buster. They kind of botched that, but that ended up still looking good. You saw John Cena pull out some moves you hadn't seen in a while from him. You saw the counter from the FU. You saw Batista countering the FU and John Cena countering the Batista bomb. And it was just a fun matchup, and it told a real good story. And I thought this matchup was way better than their SummerSlam matchup, as this was just a very good matchup. I love this matchup, and I'm going to give this match 3 3/4 stars. Had this matchup gone a little bit longer, it would have easily been 4 stars, but since most of these matches didn't get enough time, mainly because of the Divas matchup and the fact that they just wanted to give some of these matches not that much time, some of these matches didn't come out the way they should have, but they were still good for what they were. So yeah, I give this matchup 3 3/4 stars. Very good matchup, and better than what I expected from these two, as I didn't really expect that much from these two. But here, these two just didn't disappoint me, as they put on a really good matchup. And then we come to the main event, which was between Shawn Michaels and The Undertaker, which was a very good matchup. I enjoyed it. There was a lot of drama, a lot of storytelling. You had Shawn Michaels working over the knee of The Undertaker. You had Undertaker tombstoning Shawn Michaels on the outside. You had Shawn Michaels doing the moonsault onto the Spanish announce table. You had both guys kicking out of each other's finishers. And there was just, this match just had a roller coaster ride, and the crowd was just really sucked into this matchup. I really enjoyed it. I thought this matchup was kind of better than their matchup from last year, because their matchup from last year kind of started off slow, but here they just went right into it right away. Like, just the pacing just went real fast. They started hitting each other, and it wasn't like how it was last year, where kind of slow. It was slow, and it started picking up towards the end. This matchup just picked up right to the beginning towards the end, and I really enjoyed it. And then the ending sequence came when Undertaker picked Shawn Michaels up, and he didn't want to finish Shawn Michaels off, but Shawn Michaels told him to do it. Undertaker didn't, so Shawn Michaels slapped him, and then the Undertaker got mad, and he just hit a real thunderous tombstone to end things for Shawn Michaels, and that'll be the end of the matchup. Overall, I give this match 5 stars. Very good matchup. This was just a very good matchup, total good story, and the ending with Shawn Michaels giving his last hooray, hurrah and waving to the crowd and taking a bow to the crowd was very good. Overall, 5 stars. And I really enjoyed this pay-per-view, and I give it an 8.6 out of 10. I recommend